ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to ATS Week, brought to you by the staff of the ATS JR companies. My name is Tempest S. Smith. I am one of the CEOs of the ATS JR companies, and I just want to say thank you as always for being here. Thank you for taking time to watch us. Thank you for choosing to learn and grow with us and from us. I don't know about you, but I have I have been stretched this week so far, and I just can't wait to keep watching the rest of our team, and your responses, your comments, your inbox messages have been so awesome, and I'm grateful that you are being helped. I'm thankful for your questions. If you ever have a question, feel free to drop me a comment, or you can always inbox me, and I promise I will respond to you. This video, we are talking about being intentional. I thought about this because I created a vision board maybe last year before last, the first time, and I made it, but I didn't believe in it. I was just randomly picking pictures that I liked of a random house or random bag or just random things, and I put them on my vision board, looked at the vision board every day, but since I wasn't intentional about it, I thought the vision board didn't work. Then I kept doing it, and this time around I was very strategic and intentional, hence the title, about what I was putting on my vision board and why. So I put some things on my vision board, such as stacks of money, and money has been coming to me freely and easily, which is also one of an affirmation that I repeat to myself throughout the day, every day at least. It has come to pass. I also put a picture of some luggage, some pink luggage to be exact. And although I don't have the pink luggage, my luggage set has been in great use so far this year. I have been traveling to places I've never been, and I chose the luggage because I love pink. That's my favorite color, but I really wanted to start traveling and seeing the world outside of my city and state. And I've been to places like Wisconsin for example, where I didn't know anybody, but it was a great experience. It was great to be outside of my comfort zone a little bit, and it was beautiful. And I believe that I attracted Wisconsin. I attracted all of these places that I have been going and will continue to go because I was intentional about putting traveling on my vision board. So what is intentional? If you've been following me this week, you know I love using definitions because I feel that we often use words and phrases and have no idea what they mean. So therefore, we're just talking to be talking. And I choose, and I am intentional about not being that person just talking just to hear my voice. So I looked up the word intentional, and the definition is done on purpose, deliberate, being conscious or calculated. Doing something on purpose meaning I have to think about it and become more conscious of what I am doing, where I am going, who I am becoming, and who I am choosing to hang around, and etc. How many of us, feel free to leave some comments, how many of us are not conscious that we're just going somewhere? We get up and go to work, and instead of driving on purpose, we just do it from muscle memory, and all of a sudden we look up and we're at work and we don't remember anything about being there, or we're not consciously choosing purposeful people to be around. We just hang around who we feel like we click with, but you don't really take the time out to get to know a person and to say whether or not they are actually my friend or not. A friend is also one of those words that we just tossed out in the air and don't know what it means. Therefore, we don't have the proper behavior behind the words. So being intentional also means I stop blaming other people for my actions, because I think before I make a move, or I think before I react, or I think before I allow someone to harm me and cause an argument or something like that. Truly being intentional requires understanding that our attitudes, feelings, thoughts, and actions, whether they are conscious or not, directly impacts every single one of our experiences. Let me repeat that. Truly being intentional requires understanding that our attitudes, our feelings, our thoughts and actions, whether they are conscious or unconscious, directly impacts every single one of our experiences. Intentional living invokes taking responsibility for our mental, for our emotional, for our spiritual, and for our physical well-being, and freeing ourselves from self-limiting conditioning. It requires gaining clarity about what we want and who we are, owning what we say, and choosing how we show up in all situations, and for how we want to contribute. I love repeating things, so I'm going to repeat that one more time as well. Intentional living involves taking responsibility. That's a hard part, because a lot of us default to blaming others for everything. It involves taking responsibility for our mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical well-being, and freeing ourselves from self-limiting conditioning. A lot of us are conditioned to only go so far and then stop. We've either taught ourselves that somebody like us don't get to go all the way, or we've allowed other people to condition us inside of a box, and we don't think for ourselves. We think based on what other people have taught us. And if we free ourselves from self-limiting conditioning, there's nothing that we can't do. It requires gaining clarity about what we want and about who we are, owning what we say, and choosing how we show up in all situations, and for how we want to contribute. No one dictates how, when, or where you show up for you except you. That goes back to taking responsibility. That goes back to freeing ourselves from self-limiting conditioning. No one gets to dictate your attitude when you show up at an event, or show up to class, or show up to work. It's not someone else's fault. It's not fair to blame someone else for you not wanting to be there, or for you not taking your life seriously, or for you showing up late, or showing up wrinkled, or showing up tired and exhausted. The only people that we can blame is ourselves. And we intentionally, a lot of us think we don't understand in being intentional, or we don't really grasp the concept. I believe we do grasp the concept. We're just doing it in a way that doesn't serve us. We choose how we show up. We choose what we want. We choose who we are. Being intentional requires refining skills, learning to choose to respond versus react, and expanding both thought and comfort zones, while consciously increasing focus on the experience we intend to create, without defining how it has to look. Yes, we are creators of our lives, but does it always show up the way we think it has to look? What if the universe has a better way? Your job is to be intentional about your thoughts. Be intentional about being better, not how. How is not our responsibility. Antonio tells us this all the time. Our job is not how. Our job is to simply believe, be intentional about it, and just show up. So how does one live intentionally, or how do you learn to get to that state? First, let's start with some groundwork. Realize that your life is made up of choices. Every morning is a new day full of decisions and opportunity. Just like you pick out your clothes, just like you pick out your shoes and your accessories, you also get to pick your attitude and decisions. A lot of us wake up in a bad mood because we choose to do so. A lot of us show up to work with horrible attitude, not wanting to talk to anybody, not wanting to interact with anybody, and we have a bad day at work, and we take that experience home and we lash out on the people at home or around us. It's because we chose to wake up and start our day off with a terrible attitude. You don't have to allow the circumstances of our past negatively determine the pattern of our life in the future. You have a choice in this matter. You do not need to be stuck in the same pattern of living that you've been in for years. Realize that every morning is a new opportunity. So what, your life hasn't always been great. So what, you feel like life hasn't presented you with fair opportunities. One, I'm going to say you created those opportunities, but two, I say you also have the power to create a different pattern for your life. Just because life went a certain way doesn't mean it has to stay a certain way. We get the opportunity every day that we wake up that we can change our lives. And maybe you wake up in a bad mood. You have the opportunity to change your mood throughout the day. You don't have to be stuck there just because you had a rough morning. You don't have to allow that rough morning to affect your entire day or affect your entire week or month or decades. That's not fair. That's not fair to you, and that's not serving you. Next, evaluate the culture that you are in. Life is not lived through a vacuum. It's lived surrounded by a culture that is always moving somewhere. This culture around us forms a swift downstream current. Living an intentional life will require you to take a step back and evaluate the flow of the stream to determine where it's headed, how it is affecting you, and if it's taking you in a direction you desire. You get to be intentional about the direction in which your life is going. Next, examine yourself. Know who you are. Get a strong handle on your passions, your talents, your abilities, and your weaknesses. Give time and energy in this endeavor. Examine yourself isn't just a quick 2-second process. Really take time to evaluate. Examine and evaluate. It is probably one of the most important things you will ever do for yourself. So now that we've done the groundwork, let's apply some practical steps. Decide to live your life. Stop comparing yourself to others. You were not born to live their life. You were born to live yours. So it makes no sense in wasting your time, your life, the time that you have on this earth in a physical form, comparing yourself to someone else's life and being jealous about their life. Instead, you were born to live your life. And you should start right now making a conscious effort to be good at the life that you have. This lifetime is not guaranteed. We don't determine how long we get in this lifetime. So make it the best lifetime you can have by living your life. Next, define a purpose. Identify what you want in your life to contribute and what you want to communicate. Find a passion to live for that is bigger than yourself. Write that passion down. Write your purpose down. It will bring a new meaning to your life. It will wake you out of this slow death, or it will wake you out of this matrix that you are in so you can enjoy your life. Next, set some goals. Goals help us move forward. Goals help us shape our lives. Set goals that are directly in line with your defined purpose. By their nature, goals will help us intentionally live our lives and intentionally set and achieve our goals. Next, stay focused. We live in a world of constant connectivity and distractions that is begging for our attention every second. Facebook, Twitter, text messages, phone calls, YouTube, anything is a distraction if it's not helping you on your journey. Learn to turn off the distractions and live your life instead. Turn off the TV. Do you know how much time we waste watching TV? And I know the shows are good. I know you need to know what happened when it happened so you can tweet about it, or you can go to work tomorrow and talk about it. But does watching TV for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours a day really help you in your goals? And are you living a purposeful life with intention? We complain that we don't have enough time in the day to work on our dreams, work on our goals, and yet we spend so much time in front of a TV, or we spend so much time on a laptop or a tablet or a phone scrolling apps, playing games, doing all this weird stuff. And that's fine. I have no issue. I'm not here fighting for it. But you can't say you don't have time to live an intentional life, or you don't have time to set goals, or you don't have time to work on your dreams if you are using all your time doing wasteful things. Last, learn from others. Successful people are curious people. They possess humility to learn from other people. Identify people accomplishing goals similar to yours or exactly like yours, or whose purpose aligns with yours. Then study from them. Then learn from them. Some of us call these mentors. Some of us get life coaches. But whatever it is, learn from others. One, they will help you not make the same mistakes that they made. Two, they will become an accountability partner to keep you focused on your dreams and to make sure that you are living an intentional life that you deserve to live. Being intentional does not just apply to you in your life. Learn to be intentional in your relationships, whether with friends or with a significant other. Why waste your time? And why would you waste someone else's time going through the motions without actually being with them or involved in their lives on purpose? How can you love someone or care for someone if it's not on purpose? Please don't go through the motions and say I love you just because it sounds good, or just because it's the end of the day, or just because it's Valentine's Day. Really mean that. Be intentional about your love, your admiration for people. People can feel when you're not really engaged, you're not really being purposeful with them. And oftentimes, especially in relationships, that can hurt and that can make or break the relationship. Be intentional with your children. There are so many adults, too many in my opinion, who seek terrible relationships because no one taught them how to be with people on purpose. No one taught them how to love themselves and how to love others on purpose. No one taught them how to care for someone with intent. No one shared with them that it takes work, not operating like robots, to live and thrive in this world. Whatever you're going to do in this life, whether it's living your best life, whether it's finding someone to spend the rest of your life with, whether it's creating children, whether it's creating a business or engaging in a hobby, or whatever it is, whatever your goals are in your life, do them with intention. Do them with excitement. Do them so people can look up to you and say and mean that you lived your greatest life with intention. That makes all of the difference. You have no idea who's watching you from afar. You have no idea who wants to be like you when they grow up or would like for you to guide them. Not necessarily comparing their lives with yours, but because they see you living a life that they would like to live. So, since you don't know who's watching, since you don't know who wants to emulate your life, live your life with intention. And if it's not for you, do it for someone else. But don't waste your life. Don't waste this lifetime in this physical being, wasting it operating like robots going through the motions. That is not a life that's intentional. You should be intentional about everything. You are intentional about the clothes you wear and how you present yourself. Be intentional about how you live your greatest life. My name is Tempest Smith, and thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time.
Okay, so this is going to be an intense conversation. Okay, so obviously, since we're not mic'd up, talk loud so everybody can hear you. Intense conversation. I want to talk about one thing. This is law of attraction. And then since you all follow me, this is still information I haven't shared with you, at least not in this manner, because of time, right? And just because of how you've grown. One thing, you attract what you fear. This is, I guess, this is the way this works. So this is what we're going to break down. Okay, now let's get into the science first, because we're only talking about the one thing. What is that?
Fear.
You attract what you fear. We're going to get into the science of this. The opposite of what some call God is fear.
Mm-hmm.
The opposite of love is fear. There are side effects of fear: greed, poverty, hate, anger. But it's fear. If you read Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, the number one fear in the 6 fears, the fear of poverty. And then it's fear of this. And it's fear of that. And it's fear of, because it's fear. Got it? So we covered 2 things real quick. The opposite of whatever you call great is fear. Mm-hmm. It's not what it's not the opposite. It's not the opposite of up is down. No, the opposite of up is fear. I don't care what you want to call it. It is fear. It is fear plaguing you. It is fear keeping you. And fear is what you're attracting mostly. I'll explain why. So we got that. No confusion there. Mm-hmm. Good. Everything in this world is energy. Period. You got that. That's understandable. But no, seriously, everything in this world is energy. See, we understand that, but then we don't. But then we go, well, I can see this. But that's not what this is. This light or that camera or this table. Is the table on camera? The table on camera? No, it's okay. It's good. This hand. That I'm sure that might be on camera. The top of your laptop, which you need a Mac, but it's okay. The top of your laptop is energy. It just looks solid. Under the right microscope, it's energy. Now let me explain that so where everybody can catch it. When you focus energy in one place, as energy collects, it becomes what you call matter. Mm-hmm. Okay. This is, as you push energy to one central location as energy that is invisible collects on top of energy that is invisible. Energy. As you get enough of collection of the same energy, you get a material thing. Okay.
Trying.
Okay.
That's how we're created.
That's how everything is created.
Energy on top of energy, and
it has to be the same energy. Your liver is energy on top of energy, but it's the same. It's of the same substance of something that filters out your blood and compounded on top of itself gave you a liver. Someone wanted to make the top of a laptop. Go ahead.
Energy.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is energy.
Everything.
The energy creates energy to experience energy to become energy.
Okay, so you're in the class before. Yes. Yes. But if you're going to say it that way, it's all one energy because everything came from one place.
Right.
Okay, that was a complex. Right. Well, it wasn't that complex, but that was the experience of itself.
Right.
That's why I'm going in a logical order.
Right.
And each class builds upon itself. I need you to understand that the energy experiencing that we talked about before, which was us, so to catch you up, if you didn't check your email, to catch you up. Okay.
I haven't checked day 2. I got day 1 yesterday.
You haven't checked your email. You're behind. Okay. Now that we know you're behind, because you had the deer in headlights face when he said that. The great the great source wanted to experience itself. Boom, popped out. So everything that is simply everything that was. Okay? Everything that is everything that was. Now I'm gonna do him a favor so he can shout. In the beginning was the word. Okay, all right. And the word was. All right. So everything that okay, all right. That was just for him.
Thought we were gonna stay calm today.
That was just for him. Because he loves his faith. Nothing wrong with that. Keep loving your faith, whatever your faith may be. If it serves you, keep loving it. There's nothing wrong with faith. Faith is energy.
I was just gonna say that.
And faith is a strong energy
yes.
Because it is backed up by a lot of emotion. Most of you just have faith and fear. I'm coming back to that. I'm coming back to that. In order for me I'm going to spend most of this class on fear, but I need to tell you the science. Let's just go back. The top of this laptop, someone kept centralizing energy, same kind, plastic, whatever, and it materialized, the invisible focused over, this is it, it's starting to come, over and over and over and over. When you get enough of it, it forms something physical. All right, what am I saying? You got a revelation. She's almost there.
Okay.
Just say whatever you think.
Yeah. This class.
Okay.
Millions of people wanted this class.
Boom.
And the energy went out. And it kept focusing and focusing and focusing and farming and farming and farming. And then it found the energy to create this class.
It found the one person in this time, in this field, that can match all the millions of energies in one person. And then boom. Next week it'll find someone else.
Right. With
different people.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
Because of their energy.
Right. But everything that was invisible, physically manifested itself.
Right.
To this table, that camera, that.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
So every time you have a thought, you send out the energy.
Mm-hmm.
The greatest form of energy is thought.
And so every time you have the same thought,
That's a no.
with the faith attached to it, and you keep sending it out, it eventually will start
materialize.
Thank you, materializing on top of and on top of and on top of and on top of until it solidifies.
Until it becomes something. Now, everything you said was 100% correct. I just want to add one thing to it. The only reason, because you said, and every time you keep doing it with the emotion or with the belief, I can't remember the word you said. Faith. You wouldn't even do it over and over and over if you didn't have faith in it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're 100% correct. But the reason you even got to the over and over is because you have faith in it. Y'all keep manifesting fear.
Because that's what you got faith in.
Because that's what you have faith in. You don't know you have faith in the fear. But that's what you have faith in.
You got faith in failure.
You got faith in failure. That's great. That's a sermon for you. There you go. That's a great sermon for you. Go write it and go preach to people, right? Faith in failure. That'll be a great sermon for the people that you attract. Did you understand what I'm saying? So you're right. So what she said concisely was, every time I take this thought, if I keep doing it enough, it will materialize into something. Okay, that's why I keep repeating it, keep going. Because the moment you have it, clearly, I can move on. That's okay. Keep going. You're doing great. Say what you got to say because you're helping other people get it.
It's just as simple as changing your thoughts.
Okay, so you're stealing my thunder a little bit. Yes. No. That's okay. Steal as much as you want. Because when I talk about fear, that's coming back up. That's coming back up. There's a problem with that, though. Because matter...
Emotions is not following the change of thought.
Say it again.
Because our emotions are not following. Okay, like let's say we have faith in fear.
Mm-hmm.
So our thought process, every time we receive a success, fear comes up.
Okay.
That's where our faith goes. So if we even change our thoughts and think successful, our emotions need to follow the thoughts of success and not the thoughts of the fear.
Okay, now you're saying something different. When you said that now, when you said our emotions aren't matching or following the thought, or our thought aren't following the emotions. I was going to add a little bit in it, but you added yourself. Success. The truth is, all your emotions are following your thoughts. Or other way around. All your thoughts are following that emotion, whatever that emotion is. You're just not deliberately. That's where you bring in success. See, when you say success, now you have your thoughts following emotions deliberately to success. Mm-hmm. But when you're not aware, when you're just a passenger of life and you're not the driver, all your thoughts all your thoughts will follow your emotions. They will just manifest failure until you tell them success. You need to be a deliberate creator of your life. A deliberate, take all my money. I'll have it all tomorrow. Because I understand how to make money. Take all my possessions. Nobody will let me go possessionless. Because I understand how to treat people correctly. Mm-hmm. Think about that for a second. I can lose my money and my house. And one of you are the many people that I touch genuinely will say, "No, you're not fit to. Nah, come on." You understand?
Mm-hmm. Ding.
Okay, got us a ding. Explain the ding.
The reason you can say that is because your thoughts and your feelings are behind that.
That's right.
So you know that it can be done because that's what you created.
And I only created it with the people who are willing to receive that. You're absolutely correct. The other end of that is, when I said that, watch, how many of you agree that you would not let me be homeless? Because you receive that. The same thing I believe, it goes out looking for people to believe it with me.
And that's the energy on top of energy.
Energy on top of energy on top of energy created you. You understand? You already created, but you wouldn't create it in my reality.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I kept putting out a signal, and then you went, I need to get over here. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
I have
I
no
don't know
idea.
what it is.
I can't. Both of y'all had similar conversations. I'm not sure. This is something I just feel. I've been watching a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Just something different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on, but
I need to.
that your inner being was saying, "Shut up, move over here.
Mm-hmm.
You talking too much. You need to understand. Just get in the flow." Let me help him out for a second.
Come on.
He only understands church stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to understand
Mm-hmm.
how the blessings gonna happen.
Come on.
Find the window that's opened up. You
Sit
understand?
under it.
Just get up under.
Okay. Now,
That's it. That's it.
explain it again. Energy is invisible, so you think, to your eyes at least. Okay, in most cases, think of energy as a tornado. A vortex is what Abraham Hicks would call it, which is still a tornado, but she uses vortex. All of you bringing in vortex, but you can't see the spinning wind until it collects debris.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but the energy was always there.
Absolutely.
You just couldn't see the tornado until it started picking up what's not supposed to be in it, or what it wanted to be in it, I should say. So to start picking up what's in its path, you couldn't see the energy. Is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
But that collection of energy, if you don't know how tornadoes are formed by, this is why where we are is in Tornado Alley. We're kind of lucky because we're in the tropical part. We're more in Hurricane Alley, which doesn't exist when we get smacked by hurricanes. But Central America, you have the cold air coming over the Rockies. Then you have warm air coming from the south.
Yep.
And what happens is this, well, it's not cold air, actually. It is air, and it has to go over the Rockies. Then it gets cold, comes down cold, and hits warm air. And what happens is this sideways dance that it has. And as it goes faster and faster, because the warm air moves
Counterclockwise.
faster than cold air.
Yeah.
So it starts a spin cycle because hotter molecules are moving faster. It starts a spin cycle, and then as it spins, it tips up. And then there you have a tornado. Don't ask me why I know that. I'm just a nerd. But that's why you have tornadoes. Okay? You understand? I'm a lover of nature and everything because nature is the strongest thing there ever is. Nature is the kindest force there is. Humans are rude to it.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Animals, in whom you call dumb,
Very intelligent.
are great stewards of resources.
Yes, they are.
Humans are not.
I agree.
Animals can sense your fear.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot. Okay? All right. Now, can we all agree that if you put enough energy, this is actually science, this is not, into one place, and it collects and collects, same energy over same energy over same energy, that thing becomes matter.
Yes.
All right, moving on. Matter stays around for a long time. Let that sink in. After you create matter, it stays around for a while. Mm-hmm.
So when you create fear, it doesn't just go away by the change of a thought. It lingers.
Matter stays around for a long time. So you're still in thunder too. But I don't want to say when you good job. No, good job. I don't want you to say when you create fear, because fear already is here. It's when you keep using fear, it creates something. That is what lingers around a long time. You see, you're trying to create fear. Fear is already here. Fear has to be here so you can enjoy and experience love.
Absolutely.
You need to open up your email.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
So fear must be here.
Right.
Got it? It must be here. So it's already, you can't create what's already here.
Mm-hmm.
But when you use what's here, then you create. When you say, you know what? All these things I can choose. Let me grab this fear. Hey, fear, I am now going to take you and throw you over and over and over, because your energy at something over and over. What happens when you throw same energy over and over? What happens? Matter exists. So what you say lingers for a while is not the fear. It's whatever you created with that fear. That exists. Let's break it out even more. I'm afraid he's going to cheat on me. I'm afraid he's going to cheat on me. That is the fear. You throw that over and over, and you end up with a bad marriage, a bad relationship. And you say things like, I just don't know how to fix it. It's lingering. You created matter that is lingering for a long time. Did that make sense? Mm-hmm. Did that hurt a little bit? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. But it made sense. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Now, so you're right, but it's not the fear that lingers. It's what you manifested that lingers. We caught up? Mm-hmm. Everybody caught up? Okay, good. Now. Okay, she okay. Okay.
That was a hard statement, sir.
She is having an experience right now. Okay, I didn't hit her. Would you like to express? Yes. No. Okay, gather yourself. Wipe your eyes. Gather yourself. Okay, but you caught it. Mm-hmm. That's okay, you caught it.
Received it all.
Okay.
I received it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay, good.
Okay.
What's the only thing we talk about today?
Fear.
Attracting fear.
You attract what you fear. Fear is already when the universe was created, in order for you to enjoy things, fear was created too. Mm-hmm. This is why you have I shouldn't do that.
Why not?
I shouldn't do that one. I mean, I would do that off camera. This is fear is needed because you can't enjoy the opposite of fear unless you have fear. Mm-hmm. Okay, make sense? Okay, good. Now, so we're all tracking that you attract what you. Well, I haven't got to attract what you feel yet. We're all attracting energy.
That's forming matter.
Forms matter.
Yes.
But matter doesn't decay easily. I need you to get that, because when you start saying, "Well, this isn't working for me," it is working for you. What you manifested just ain't decaying easily. It's work. I want you to take this laptop and I want you to sit it in the desert. It will, at some point, go into the ground in which it came from. It will rot. You will come to it and the sun will dry it and you touch it and it just fall off. It will. It's going to take a long time. Couple of thousands of years. Are we tracking that if you want to, plastic bottles are killing our oceans right now because they're not as biodegradable as we need them to be. They last a very long time. This is why plastic is not nature's friendliest thing. Make sense? Mm-hmm. It's not saying it won't decay. It's just going to take 10,000 years for it to decay. That was energy that manifested in the plastic, but now it's lingering for a long time. Does it make sense? Okay, go ahead.
So with you, your thoughts manifest. Your thoughts think. So with the energy creating the fear. Well, the fear is already there.
Yes, sir.
Your energy attracts it, and through fear, you get the manifestation of what you attracted.
Through energy, you get the manifestation. You just happen to be using fear's energy.
Okay, so fear is the energy, and
everything's energy,
and you manifest it.
Yep.
Okay, and
how do you manifest it?
Through matter.
How does
energy
become?
on top of energy on top of energy.
There you go.
On top of energy.
There you go.
And it becomes matter.
There you go.
that matter lingers. My question is, with a changing of mindset, how long do a person have to deal with the lingering?
Okay. That's so let's go. If you're asking that kind of question, then you're getting what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
I said, good. So let's go. As long as it lasts. That's the answer to the question. You have to deal with it as long as it lasts. Yep. Yeah, it hurts. Yes, this is why you shouldn't be putting energy over energy. Now, how do you put energy over energy? That's called thought over thought over thought. But how does something manifest? Thoughts plus, what's the equation?
Thoughts plus emotion
Equals
being.
Equals creation.
Equals creation.
It's a creation.
Yeah.
What's the other equation?
The other equation is,
come on.
Knowledge plus experience equals being.
There you go. Knowledge plus experience equals being, and that was deep. When you grab that chair, make sure that chair is sturdy.
Don't have faith.
Yeah. And look at, yeah. Got us a newcomer. Yeah. Make sure you can be on.
Oh no, you got to scoop. I'm
All
gonna
the
get in
way
there.
up.
I'm gonna get in this. Okay.
Okay, there we go. Are you in, or you gotta make sure you're in? Make sure
I gotta
that's
make sure I'm in.
Make sure that's in. So we working it out for you.
I'm in.
You're in.
I'm in.
She's in.
I'm
Good.
in the fire.
So we're gonna back up for understanding. Everything is energy. Period. That's not changing. You cannot change that. Everything is energy. Matter is created by energy after energy after energy collecting over time. It creates matter. But it has to be the same energy over and over and over. When I wanted to make a piece of paper, it had to be paper's energy. Wood, trees, wood, water. You get it. And water is energy. You know what I'm saying? But the lines in the paper had to be the colored dye. All that energy had to be hit over and over and over. There is no such thing as matter. There's only energy. Matter, Einstein figured this out, is energy.
So that paper has energy?
Everything is energy.
Is energy.
Is energy.
Everything
Not
is
has.
energy. Everything is energy. My voice vibrating across my vocal cords, forming into words, is vibrational energy that we understand as language. There is nothing on this earth that is not energy. Period. Go ahead.
I have a question. Okay, I understand the voice. I
Got you.
understand the vibration
Mhm.
because it's moving.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the paper moving.
That's okay. You can't see the paper moving, but it's always moving. Everything is moving. Everything is vibrating at a frequency. There's two things you need to understand here. As far as your human eyes go, you'll need to see it moving. Because it became something. Because energy over energy over energy created matter.
Okay.
You respect that it can only be matter if energy kept collecting over and over and over and over and over. That's thing number one.
Okay.
Now, with a proper microscope, you can see this vibrating.
The piece of paper.
Yes.
Okay.
This is all buildings. You come on here. All buildings vibrate. Everything vibrates. Everything moves. In fact, they even engineer out buildings so they can sway without breaking.
With the wind.
So they're moving even though without an additional force of wind or swaying or traffic or the earth moving.
It's always moving.
Okay.
It's always moving. Actually, we're moving
Right now.
like 300 kilometers a second in rotation around, in which not only is the earth spinning, then it's rotating around the sun.
Mm-hmm.
You're just used to it because you were born in the. If you were bigger or smaller, you would feel it.
How big of a microscope would you have to use?
It had to have a proper microscope.
A proper.
Yeah, it's
okay.
not necessarily. It would be the microscope doesn't necessarily have to be big. It's a microscope that can detect vibration and energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I would say help explain it like this. The wind is always blowing. The wind is never not blowing. So everything is always moving. With the fact that the wind, which is energy, is always moving. So all this is always moving.
Okay.
Everything in this world is energy.
Like, what's moving?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything is moving. Everything is energy. Now, we're only talking about one thing. What's the one thing we're talking about?
Matter.
What? But since you walked in, that's what we're talking
Okay.
about.
Attracting.
You attract what you feel.
You
Yeah,
attract
grab a
what you
chair
feel.
and we'll squeeze you in too. Grab a chair and we'll squeeze you in too. Okay? You attract what you fear. That is it. Okay? Now, yeah, let's make sure we squeeze everybody in the camera. Just squeeze everybody in the camera. This is perfect. Now, this is exactly what's supposed to happen. This is perfect. We got people that needed all your energy. There you go. We got people that needed everybody's energy.
Oh.
There you
Can you
go.
get in there?
Make sure you can see that chair. I ain't cutting none of this out. Hard to get us all.
Yeah.
Move that chair in and come.
It's gonna be.
It's gonna be.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay.
What if he angles it?
No, well,
Angles.
get the edge of Shannon.
Can I unplug?
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Get the edge. There you go. Okay, that works too. That works too. All right, now do me a favor, since we're not mic'd up. Talk loud enough so the camera can hear you.
That's good, sir. You can sit right there.
All right, we're only talking about you attract what you fear, and all this, even though all of you, this is you never, we haven't got to that level yet. I'm forcing everybody to this level. You attract what you fear, period. But everything is energy, and the way you get matter is over and over and over. Energy over and over collected into one place becomes matter. That's science. That's never going to change. That's just the way it is. That's how the atomic bomb was created. That's how papers were created. You have the same energy over and over. It must collect. And when it collect enough, it materializes into matter. There's a reason why I keep bringing this up. Because I'm telling you, well, before I get there, energy over and over. What's the greatest form of energy there is? Thoughts. I'm telling you everything is energy, and I'm telling you thought is the highest form of energy. And I'm telling you, without your thoughts, if you just put energy on top of energy, on top of energy, on top of energy, nothing happens. But if you keep doing it, it becomes material. And once something becomes matter, it stays for a long time.
Okay.
And the higher form of matter, the way we would say that, the more expensive, the higher quality of matter, the more expensive, the harder it is to decay. So if you take one of my suit jackets, you take a cheaper one, you burn it, goes pretty quickly. You take an expensive one, it does not.
Let's not talk about burning expenses.
But think about this for a second. Because even in the burning of a suit, that still proves its energy. Because most things, this is answer your question now, are 90% empty. They look solid because it's energy holding them all together. How do you find this out? Burn it. When you burn it, you flip what it is. The heat releases that energy, and all you're left with is the 10% of what was solid. Ashes.
Oh, like a piece of paper is made from wood, but a piece of paper versus a stick.
Fair enough, but the piece of paper and the tree, everything is 90% empty, so at least we thought, but we now know that is energy. I'm saying if you burn a tree, you will be left with a pile of ashes,
Right.
which meant all the energy escaped to the atmosphere.
Okay.
So what you thought was solid, once you burnt it, you saw exactly how much solid was left. Just the ashes.
Wow.
Now we have to have this conversation, because let me tell you what I just did in your understanding. Let's go with thoughts become things. Energy collected over time does nothing, but a lot of it materializes into what is matter. And matter stays for a long time before it will decay. Thoughts become things, not few thoughts, a lot of thoughts, over and over and over. They become matter. And what you materialize in your life stays for a long time. Now, it could be a weak thought. What's the equation? Thoughts
Emotions.
becomes creation. Now, since I don't think many of you opened your day 2 email, what's the other equation they need to know?
Knowledge plus experience equals being.
Knowledge plus experience equals being. It's deep. You're going to love it. Now, when I said higher quality suit, lower quality suit, well, you know what? I manifested it, but it's not a big deal. I ain't really that emotional about it. You can get rid of that. Yeah, I've been speaking in plain language. I just use the science to help you out. Some of the stuff in your life, you're like, you know what? I didn't like him too much anyway. It's cool.
Because you're not emotionally
It wasn't.
attached to that thought.
It was enough emotion to materialize, but not enough emotion to stay in your life for a long time. But the higher quality suit, it won't burn the way it will. It'll melt and it'll be a pile of goo. Some of us are walking around getting burnt by a pile of goos. Or you got this high quality suit that we keep wearing because we've manifested and we can't get rid of it. When stuff becomes matter, it lingers for a long time. Everybody caught up. Everybody got that. Let's talk about fear. Fear must exist. This is what we covered yesterday, day 2. Fear must exist so you can experience love. The opposite of love is fear.
Yeah, law of opposite.
The law of opposite. That's what we talked about yesterday. It must. When this world was created, okay, this is me. Now let me create the opposite of me so you can experience me. That just is what it is. That's not changing. Okay? That's, and I try to take it as much out of faith as possible, but surely you can see a connection to your faith there. It just is what it is. Now, so you need fear so you can love the opposite of fear. But you shouldn't be using fear. It just needs to be here as a contrast so you can enjoy.
Oh, okay.
But that is not what we're doing now, is it?
No, we use fear.
You use fear. Now, take all even though it wasn't complex, but take all the science we just learned. Now, take fear. What's the highest form of energy?
Thoughts.
Now, take fear that's already here and put thoughts on it. So fear is already strong. Put thoughts on it. Now, put emotions. What's the formula? Thought plus emotion
Equals creation.
So if you already have something that is meant to be destructive, that's only meant to be there so you can enjoy what is not destructive. When you put thoughts and emotions behind it, you materialize destruction. And when you make something matter, it lingers for a long time. The more emotion, the more high quality the matter. The higher quality the matter, I got your high quality matter, the harder it is to get rid of. And some of you can relate. You have some problems you created that's really plaguing you. Over and over, because you got so much thought energy into it. is fear. But you won't let the fear go. So you keep getting plagued by the same problem. Yes, sir.
You just answered the question.
Yes.
So we make problems expensive suit jackets?
Yeah. That's a great analogy. Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
Exactly. I mean, you can take a non-expensive that burn it. It's pretty much paper. You know the difference between a nice dress and a cheap one. They feel different, hug your body different. One will make you real hot. You know.
Yeah. Tags, get you the seams, all right.
Yeah. I put on one of my $3,000 suits or something, and I'd be like, oh, man, this feels great. You know, feels great. And I get in my car, which is hot, and I'd be like, it's hot, but somehow
It feel good.
it's a comfortable hot.
Yes.
I'm not put on one of them cheap suits, and I just be over here getting so many wrinkles. You understand? Because when it get wet from my sweat, it just wrinkle all up. It just wrinkles all up. The lower quality, you'll know. Some of the lower quality manifestations you have in your life, they're fleeting, good or bad. They come, they go. Spiritual talk, we say, here for a season. But we've got some issues that ain't here for a season. And the only way they existed was thought creation. That was it. There was no other way. Because everything is energy. And the highest form of energy is thought. And you have two choices you get to pick from. That's it. Love or fear. That's it. And then everything manifests itself from either one of those. Go ahead.
So even with the change of your thought creation, those fears will you still have to deal with those?
Great question. See, now that's when I know I get to move forward, because this has an agenda. You can only ask that question if you receive the information. Yes. Unfortunately, the answer is yes. You must still deal with what you manifested. It still has to be there. There's a way around it. Would you like to know the way around it?
Jesus.
Let's say you, like Shannon said, let's say you have a high quality mess, soup mess right here. You can't get rid of it. It matters. We got some plastic bottles in the ocean. It's gonna be there 15,000 years before it starts degrading a little bit. That's true. This is why I love nature so much, because nature is the great teacher. Like I said earlier before y'all walked in, nature is so kind. Humans are rude to it.
Yes.
Animals in which you call dumb are smart enough to sense your fear. You understand? Nature is really smart. Animals only eat what they need. Humans overindulge.
They just greedy.
So I love to look at nature to remind me I'm a part of it.
Right.
If I start behaving like it. So if you want to...
Wait, time. Let's not act like you just didn't say that last part.
Fair enough.
Let's go back to that.
Go ahead.
If I start acting like it.
Right. I am one with nature. I am one with the universe. I am one, some of you are not going to like this, with every religion on planet Earth. I am one with every disagreeing person against me on planet Earth. I am not apart from any of you or any religion. Why? Because the greatest form of energy is what?
Thoughts.
And the greatest thought ever to ever exist. We all come from that thought.
Mm-hmm. Ah, got it.
Now, you can do that a few ways. The Big Bang, we came from one place. You can do it in the beginning was the word. You can say we came from God. I don't care how you do it. Whatever school of thought you're more comfortable with, we all come from one place. Even if I don't like how you come at me. Yes, sir.
So is it fair to say until you become one with the world, you'll never manifest the prosperity in which you want?
That's absolutely correct. How can you manifest something when you're not in agreement with it? But every great leader has told you that. Every great master has told you that. Let's two walk together. How can they agree? Pick one. Buddha, Jesus, Confucius. I don't care. Nobody ever told you, hey, you ain't got to agree with nobody. You can do whatever you want. Nobody ever told you that. You cannot be not of something and create that thing. Because, now this is what some of you may have missed yesterday. Here's why. Before I said, make sure that's still recorded. Make sure that's what he got. Make sure that's still recorded. We good to go. Okay.
44 minutes.
Okay, good. What's my equation?
Knowledge plus experience equals being.
Hey, Mrs., I'll catch you up real quick. The only point of life is to be. But the highest form of anything is knowing or knowledge. But you can't only know unless you're in the world of absolute. Some of your circles call that heaven. Where there is heaven, that's absolute. You don't need to be anything in heaven. Because it's only the knowing. You don't have to, because there is the light, and the light will shine upon. That's it. You need nothing. You need nothing else but to know. But that wasn't good enough for the great being. That wasn't good enough for the great knowing. Okay, right? It wasn't good enough. Wanted the experience now to make him happy, because we did it yesterday. He was shouting all over the place. Think about this. If you,
I want them to connect.
Oh, okay. Knowing, all knowing, wanted to experience. Now, this is why I tell you, boom, boom, pop out, and everything that was created in one place is now in the same, everything that's everywhere is created from one place. But what was the experience of the all-knowing, according to your faith? I'll break it out more simple. Well, yeah, we are the experience. But then something in your faith says this is the great experience of what is the great knower.
Heaven.
Jesus.
Oh.
God.
think about Jesus. Think about it for a
created
second.
him to experience so we can live in the being
You're all saying
of what he wanted to.
Okay, so I gotta break down the being. I gotta break down the being. But think about it. You're all saying we need to be like God. But what's your example of God?
Jesus.
The experience that God created himself. That's in your Bible. Right? That's in there. God became gnosis to that's Greek, but manifested is what that means. And you use the word tabernacle. The great knowing manifested in reality and dwelled in you, which brings us to the being. The Nicene Creed calls the Holy Spirit the giver of life. Because you cannot have life if you're not being. There is no life if you're not being. Now let's break this down. In order to be anything, you must first be the experience and go through the experience. The problem is most people want to know and skip to the being and never go through the experience. So, I got you. Hold on. Let me finish this thought. Because the experience, in order for the great light to have been the light, there's only one way that could have happened. Law of opposites. What does that mean?
Had to have darkness.
It had to draw the darkness to it. Or it could never be the great light. It had to draw the greatest amount of darkness to it. Y'all want to know and get without going through the experience. Okay, you got a question.
Can I receive what you just said?
Fair enough. I'm going to break that down even more.
So, when you say being, you always tell us, be in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So is that what you're referring to?
Absolutely. Every time. I just never get to. There's more things that I want to say to y'all that I just never do, but I'll say them now. When you remember something, you again become the member of the body. Remember. You are a member of what is the great source. Your job is not to become anything. It is to be what you already are. But you can only do that if you become part of the member of what you already been, which is the great knowing. If I remind Shannon something, I'm putting this mind
That's on her. Yeah, come on.
that she already had, I'm just giving it back to you. It's already in your language. You just go over it because we take everything for granted. But to remember something is to get back into the member, get back into the body as you should be, in harmony with the rest. This world we can end world hunger right now if we all agreed. It's not impossible to end world hunger. It is not impossible to end homelessness in America. We have more abandoned homes than we have homeless people. We can end poverty in the whole world if we can actually agree on one consciousness. The world is in the shape it is in because the members are not being members of the body. We're disconnected, discombobulated. We're separate. We're not joined. We're not a collective consciousness. So you have highly conscious people, me, Bob Proctor, Lisa Nichols, anybody, that can affect small groups. But until we catch the whole collective consciousness, the world won't change. The world is a representation of the consciousness of the world. We could stop rape of women if we stop creating a culture of rape of women as a collective conscious. Yes, sir?
And the only way that culture is being created is because the fear is what is being attracted.
Okay, you got two options you get to choose from. Love or fear. That's it. This universe is so simple. We go, nah, I want that, I want this. But I got fear in my hand, I'm not going to call it that though. Well-dressed poverty is still poverty. It just looks good. It's still poverty. It just smells really good. And you make it look real good with your $50,000 in debt on one credit card. You make it look real good though. You understand? Okay. So we want the knowing and we want to get it, but we don't want to experience it. But you can't be without experiencing, and you can't experience what you don't know. This is where awareness comes in. Some of you are trying to experience, but you don't know anything. And you're not trying to learn anything. And what I covered with him yesterday, which freed him, I explained why procrastination exists. Procrastinators live in the knowing. Remember, in the knowing, that's all you need is knowledge if you live in an absolute world, heaven, where there is no opposite. If you live in anything that is absolute, there is no opposite. Procrastinators live in an absolute world in their head.
Oh.
They know everything, but they never experience, so they can never be. See, in order to experience, you got to get on the battlefield and actually do. But if you're doing, you can't be procrastinating. You can't do and procrastinate at the same time. And you can't experience you can't be until you experience. So until you do, you can't be. That means procrastinators only know stuff. If I tell you stop procrastinating, I know, I know. Think about it. You say it. You say these words. I know. But. And then you tell me what I should know about what you actually know. Fear. All of this you're only attracting the fear in your life. Okay, well, not only, but this is what we're talking about today. You attract what you fear. You are trying to attract what you want, but you got so much thought emotion behind what you fear. That's what you keep getting. This is why every time someone addresses you, you think the very worst of what is being said. This is why your relationships can't work, because you think they're going to, I don't know, whatever it is that you think. This is why your finances can't be saved, because you're secretly scared to check your bank account balance because money's always running out. So no matter how much you save, you secretly fear running out of money. And you attract what you fear, because fear is a very powerful emotion. And what's the equation? Thoughts
Plus emotion.
Emotion equals creation.
Until you release fear, you're going to continue to inadvertently create the life you don't want. Think and Grow Rich covers 6 basic fears. It doesn't cover poverty. It doesn't cover loss of love. It covers
The fear of.
poverty is still going to be here. Got you. Loss of love is still going to be here. Loss of health. But you fearing it doesn't have to be. Okay, go ahead.
How do you get rid of fear?
Okay, how do you get rid of fear?
Change your
Change
thoughts.
your thoughts.
Change
So
your
you
thoughts.
challenge it.
Oh, you know what? I never fully answered the question. In order for you, I'll come back to that question. You asked a question a while ago about how do I stop having this
Matter.
this
Yes.
terrible suit that, okay, you build other suits around it. The ones you want. You can't decay the negative stuff in your life. But if you build so much great stuff around it, you won't even feel that negative.
It'll leave your reality.
It won't leave. It'll hit you. It'll be like a bad text message. You'll be like, oh, I'm so happy today. This ain't even bothering me.
You're unbothered.
Because you planted so much so happy today that when this came at you, it was like, oh, they tripping. I'm so not going to give them the time and attention today. You get it?
Mm-hmm.
Because you got so much good around you. Would you really care if you lost $100 if you had $1 billion in your bank account?
No.
I'm not saying you're not a good steward, because you're like, man, that's $100 still. That's good. That's responsible. But would it hurt
Nah.
if it was your last $100
What?
Yeah.
and you needed that 100 so your car wouldn't get repossessed?
What?
No.
Hurt.
See how much you care about it
I'll
now
be crying.
versus all the other planning that is good? All right. So that's answering that question. It provided me, because to answer your question, how do you get rid of the fear, actually ties into that answer. That's what made me bring it back up. You focus on the good. You don't get rid of fear. The very sentence has a negative connotation. And connotation means a feeling of a word. Denotation means the meaning of a word. Get rid of. Listen to the feeling of that sentence. Get rid of. If I come in and say, I'm going to get rid of you, do you feel good or do you feel bad?
Bad.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If the very sentence carries a negative emotion,
Throw it away.
and you're trying to get something positive from it. So if you, what's the highest form of energy?
Thoughts.
And then what's the great way to plant a thought?
Emotion.
Energy.
Speak it.
Oh, yeah.
So when you spoke, you actually said what you fear. You fear you can't get rid of the bad. This is why I keep teaching how actively listen. If you actively listen, you'll always hear what someone's actually saying. In your mind, getting rid of the bad is something you fear. You can never get rid of all the bad. You don't have to. You manifest and duplicate and replicate more of the good. You had a question?
No, I was just gonna add
Yeah, add away.
to her question because she asked how you get rid of the fear. Fear never gone away.
It's not supposed to.
It's not supposed to.
You're trying to get rid of something that you need to experience.
Yeah.
This is why this next 31 days is in sequential order. They're building upon one another so you can fully understand the law of attraction fully. The reason why I went so hard on experience yesterday is because I needed you to understand that you need what you don't want to experience what you do want. The trick is not to freak out about the stuff you don't want. It is only there to serve you in enjoying what you do want. It's only there for that reason. All the bad people you dated were only there to serve you for the one that's coming. Go ahead.
No. Okay, picture. I don't know if well, it's not an illustration, but a picture. Because I was going to analyze this kind of like an analogy of what you was just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so put me on we racers. So we're about to start a race, right? And we don't see nothing on this track. So we feel like this track is wide open. And we see our goal. We see the finish line. You know, our happiness, our prosperity, whatever it is. We see it. And we're like, oh, this is going to be easy. And they shoot the gun, I'm gone. But we don't know, as we're running, a hurdle pop up. And instead of us just jumping and keep going, that hurdle scared the hell out of us.
Yeah, we complain about it.
Because we wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
You know, like we
And
wasn't
that's a
expecting
great analogy.
But we attracted it because the whole time we running, we hoping don't nothing happen.
That's facts.
So it's like, ooh, I hope don't nothing happen. I hope don't nothing happen. They're gonna hurt us. Oh man. Now all our energy.
They always giving me hurdles.
Yeah. So all our energy is on that hurdle. And now we distracted from the goal that we, at the start, we thought it was going to be an easy run. And it's still an easy run. We just putting our focus on the obstacle instead of the destination.
Yeah, that's perfect. I have nothing to add to that. That's perfect. If you fear, name me some of the 6 fears in thing verbiage. Okay, if you fear poverty, you're never going to enjoy what you have. You're scared to check your bank account. You can't lend anybody money. Actually, you only lend people money. Let me say it that way. Because you want it back, because you're going to lose it. You can't give money, and you don't save 10% of your income. If you fear poverty, you think, and this is crazy, this is the craziest thought of all, but I see it almost every day. You think when you save 10% of your income, it's actually going to somebody else.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's your money that you put aside for you. But you fight it as if as if your mentor said, that's for me though. It's yours.
I'll make sure I spend it on me.
It's your money. You're not losing it. You're putting it aside so you don't lose it, but you fear poverty so much you can't interpret it that way. You say things like, how I'm going to live off of this, I needed that. Okay, give me another fear.
Love.
Yeah.
I just want to skip past that one. That's just,
Okay.
I'm not going to, but I just want to. Loss of love. It's just so hard. Y'all give me examples. It's not hard. It's going to punch everybody in the face. And I've already been punching everybody in the face long enough. If you fear loss of love, you're jealous.
Insecure.
Of course you're insecure.
Low self-esteem.
If you got low self-esteem, you also don't love you, so you love other people, so you don't have to remind yourself that you need to love you. You go through phones, all that, all that stuff that you think.
I'm sorry.
He or she is always cheating.
You become an alcoholic.
Can't have no friends, and you do what high involvement relationships. Since I'm afraid I'm gonna lose you.
I'm gonna hurt you first.
Well, that's a little bit too high involvement. That's not where I was going, but that is fair. That's if you keep going. Since I'm afraid, here's the subtle, most common way. Since I'm afraid I'm gonna lose you, I want to do everything with you.
Oh, yeah, make sure you don't go nowhere.
To make sure you don't go nowhere.
You can't even go to the store by yourself.
No, where we going, babe?
What?
I'm just telling you.
Let me get my shoes.
Yeah. I want to walk with you today.
Can I go with you?
So now Shannon can't have her friends because I'm so jealous. Now I wanted a pretty girl, but I can't handle a pretty girl. Come on, act like I ain't dating nobody, no man like that. I'm done with that. That's it. This is why I ain't want to go into it. But you get it. You get it. I want it. Oh, you look good, girl. But now that I got you, I don't want you to look good no more. Unless you with me. That's fear, loss, and love. This time I'm talking about the men, Shannon. I'm not talking about the women. This time I'm talking about the men.
That's how much.
You know, after the camera, she gonna be like, you need to talk about the men too. But you get it though.
You do that.
All right. There's fear of criticism. That one kills so many people. It's probably fear of criticism. You can't even be corrected. Actually, you can't even be talked to without you thinking it's a correction in fear of criticism. You can't. I know people who fear criticism so much they write the most beautiful poetry in the world, have books of it, and it's under their mattress, never to be seen. Their gift to the world. They could have changed the whole world. But their criticism, the fear of criticism is so high, it stays under the mattress. You get it? We attract what we fear. Since we fear being criticized, we created a life
We're always criticized.
to where you're always criticized, or you created a life where you're never criticized, but you'll be criticized in your death. She didn't live. Go ahead. Is that an Apple Watch?
Mm-hmm.
Did you shine on us like that?
I've had this for several weeks now, so. But in keeping with the video and the class, that is absolutely wonderful. Fear of criticism is, I can relate. And what I find is that
Make sure it's still recording.
you withhold so much. You withhold a lot of what you have in you to release, because if anybody attacks it, or you treasure it so much that you withhold it. And not only do you not get criticized, it's all with me. You can't criticize it because you don't know it. I haven't released it to you. But it also doesn't get recognized. And so you're in a person that fears criticism is in an inner turmoil, because if you fear criticism, you chase after recognition. But you're keeping yourself in a fit because nobody can recognize what you won't let go of, what you won't release. And so that fear keeps you in poverty. It keeps you from achieving your dreams. It keeps you because you're keeping everything. You won't release it because you fear somebody just telling you, okay, that's cool, but I didn't like it. Okay. But you're not okay with somebody telling you that they don't like something because you're not really sure if you like it. Because you haven't accepted who you are and what your purpose is. And so in order for me to keep what I think I am and who I think I'm supposed to be and what I am creating, I have to keep it within, because if somebody criticizes it, then oh my God, because all of my value and my worth is in what you think about me. If you don't like it, then I'm lost again. I'm searching again, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to create what I create in my goodness and my poetry and my books, but I'm going to keep them all in because I don't trust myself enough to let go of them and stick with them at the same time. If that makes sense.
That makes sense. That makes brilliant sense. And how can you plant a seed if you never let go of it?
Right.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, I'm totally grabbing the fear of criticism. I actually had dealt with that in my previous life. But here's my question. How can we dictate and determine, I'm actually going to use you as an example. How can we dictate and determine the fear of criticism versus a person having a talent and just not using it? You can sing.
Yes.
Do you not sing because people may criticize you? Fear of criticism, or you just don't want to?
I just don't enjoy singing.
Okay.
I don't even sing in the shower.
Right.
I just don't enjoy singing. It's just something, it's just one of those things that somewhere in the deepest parts of me just doesn't fit me.
Mm-hmm.
I can do it. It doesn't fit me, but I like to be. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
When I feel like, see, for me, singing softens me up. When I feel like being softened up, that's what I would do. But when do I feel like not being intense? If I'm a singer, it's gonna be yeah. You understand? Because I'm always intense, just always. So it's not about fear. But it's a great question though. It's not as a fear of criticism. It's just one of the gifts that I have that I just truly don't mind. We good. You can take it away. It's one of those things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I should be a better steward of it. That's for sure. I'd probably sing much better. But other than that, I'm okay. You know, it has nothing to do with criticism. I don't have any fears. Now, that's not to say that I'm great. I killed them all. I didn't have time for them. When I had time for prosperity, I lost time for fear. I don't like, think about it this way. You all are a testament to my mindset, both from a prosperity side and a counseling side, okay? Shannon is good at psychology, so we're going to do both. From a prosperity side, each and every one of you are staffed to my weaknesses. That takes a lot of self-awareness to actually know where you're weak at. Mm-hmm. To staff, when you think about it, how many is it of us total?
8.
8, okay. So 8 of us total. Well, if you count the real estate, it's 8 of us total.
But altogether 7.
7. Outside of me, 7.
Mm-hmm. Outside of you
No,
is 6.
the mastermind team is 7 people.
Yeah, outside of you is 6.
Okay, fair enough. Outside of me is 6. Do you know how strong you have to be to say, I suck at 6 different areas? Will you? Think about it. Will you say that? You don't have to answer out loud.
Oh no, I'm a be transparent.
Don't answer out loud. It was a pivot, so I could bring it back around. You don't have to answer out loud. The point is, you have to be incredibly self-aware to say, man, these 6 areas are really holding me back. I need to stop doing everything in these 6 areas. Then to actually let y'all do stuff in those 6 areas without micromanagement, because that is most certainly, that's fear of poverty, that's fear of criticism, that's fear of loss of love. Micromanagement comes from a strong, insecure place. To let you actually, Shannon just nailed fear of criticism better than I did. And I was happy about that. You get it? That's the prosperity side. Psychological side, I spent my entire life alone. I spent from 6 to 25, I spent my entire life by myself. From 6 to 18, graduated from 18, but I went straight to the Army, and they sent me off to places I can't even talk about on camera. I didn't get out and become anything sane enough until I was 25. So of course I'm surrounded by, psychologically, people, because I never had people in my life. So you see both sides. So you all are that's one of their phone. You are a testament of my mindset, both on the prosperity side and the psychological side. Make sense? Since I always gained stuff by myself, as I got more prosperous, I said, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to gain stuff and have someone to share that experience with. So when you kill your fears, what's wrong with you actually becomes what's right with you. This could play out oppositely. I could surround myself with y'all. We in Texas, we say y'all down here. You know, I could surround myself with y'all and then mistreat you so I can feel good psychologically, but I still got all these fears that I'm not really doing it correctly. You see these leaders all the time. They have experts under them that they don't use their advice. Now this don't just bring it to the church. This is everywhere. This is everywhere. This is any organization. If the leader has not killed their fears, they have this problem. So this team could work differently, but it wouldn't be y'all. Or it would have been a phase one y'all, because only the phase one y'all would let me manipulate you in that manner. And, which I'm going to talk about the law of allowing, but I'm going to set it up. It wouldn't even be wrong that I would be mistreating y'all. And that's just hard for it's hard to accept. Because y'all would be different people. And I would have only attracted the people who wanted me to mistreat them. Mm-hmm. This is part of the law of allowing that I'm going to get into. It's not time yet. You only attract the people that you're attracted to. In conclusion, you're only attracting fear. In this class, at least. That's what we talk about. You're going to attract mostly fear until you kill it. This is why, if you're not familiar with it, I'm going to make it familiar with it, and this will sting. Oh, go ahead. No, you're fine. You're fine.
Real quick, because for the sake of words, because you can't kill fear. So can you say till you build around it?
Don't build around it.
So you can't kill fear.
Build around it is far better. Well, okay, fair enough. I see where you're getting that from. Unfortunately, human language makes me dumb down my consciousness to use words that don't always fit my consciousness. Okay, so when I said kill fear, that's what I was doing. So let me change that up, because you're absolutely right. I'm glad you did that. How did I say it? Until you kill your fears? Okay. Mm-hmm. Until you release your fears. Is a far
so that's
better
saying
way
that they're still there, but yeah.
Because it's supposed to be here, but they need to be released.
Like a closet.
Yeah.
You have to stuff your closet with more things so that you don't go and choose fear. It's there.
Yeah.
You never put it on. Like we got shoes in your closet, you never put on your feet no more.
That is true. I got a whole right side of my closet. I can't even get into because it's too much. I outgrew my house in that closet. I don't even know what's on the right side of my walk-in. I have no idea. Mm-hmm. I'm the honest to God truth, but I have no idea.
It's fear over there.
It's a whole...
It's somewhere over there. I don't know. It don't matter.
I have a whole left side with about 30 suits. Another 30 suits I can't even see them all day. I'll be like, man, I forgot I had this. You know, some shoes. Then I don't be feel like bending down in the morning either. It's early. So release your fear. You need the fear. Let me give you a great example of why you remind me to come back to this. It's going to hurt. The reason why you need fear is because the fear of a bad team makes me enjoy this team. Mm-hmm. I could not enjoy this team if the fear of having a bad team did not exist. That doesn't mean that I have the fear, but I need the fear to enjoy you. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. I can't contrast it. If you weren't good for me, if everybody was good for me, I couldn't appreciate you. Mm-hmm. This is the way I did it yesterday. How tall are you?
5'8".
The reason, stand up for me. I did the same thing yesterday. Okay. Now, how does he know he's 5'8"?
Because he's compared to somebody.
Because he compared it to the lamp that's not 5'8". The roof that's not 5'8". You can sit down. If everything in this world was 5'8", he would never know he's 5'8". And he would never experience being 5'8". Did you catch that? Uh-huh. If everybody was right for me, I would never experience you being right for me. So I need what is not right for me to enjoy you being right for me. That makes sense to everybody? Mm-hmm. I need the fear. It just don't have control over me. But I need to I need to see the dark so I can see the light. I can't see light against light. I need dark so I can see the light. Make sense? Mm-hmm. This is for you now. The great light had to call the greatest form of darkness against him. Mm-hmm. There is no other way, or he wouldn't be the great light.
Right.
You wouldn't know it. The great light couldn't come down here, in your understanding, and just have light all around him.
Right.
That's not great light at all.
Just light.
It's just bright.
Just
bright,
like-
yeah.
Freaking Washington D.C. I'm
Yeah,
gonna surround myself with myself. Oh, forget all y'all. You know, just surround myself with myself. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
This is why you must have the opposites. Now, this is what stings, if I can remember. Yes, this is what stings. It's not for any of us, it's for all of us. Okay? The reason why your life is mediocre, Shannon would say, is because you keep concentrating with emotion on good things, and you get it. And good things override bad things all the time. But you keep accidentally concentrating on fear, and you keep mixing what is good with what is bad, and you get a lukewarm life.
Repeat that. Please.
Please don't.
Good will always outride bad.
Mhm.
This is a good conversation. It would take a few bad conversations to take the energy of this good conversation out of your mind, spirit, and soul. It just would. If you get hit with 2 or 3 of them at the same time, then you'll focus on that third one. First, and then you'll say stuff like, you know what, this has been happening all day. 1, 2, and 3, but it's the third one that made you go back to 1, 2, and 3. And then make you forget about this conversation. So good can knock out about a good 3 things.
Okay.
So you have some good in your life, but you have most fear in your life. And when you get some good, let's say 25% good, but your life is manifested 75% fear, then you end up with, you know, that warm coffee that's not warm, it's actually cold, but it's not cold enough for you to enjoy like a cold coffee. It's worse than lukewarm. It's
my favorite kind of coffee.
It's like,
Sorry,
wow,
okay, well,
I
it's favorite kind of, you spend a lot of time homeless. But,
Yeah.
but that's your favorite kind of shower.
My favorite kind of shower?
Hot. Okay, so that warm water that's not really warm, it's cold. It's just made her flesh crawl. They make you feel like this water got mildew in it or something like that.
You're not clean if you bathe in water like that.
Okay, you
I'm
understand?
just playing.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. But you get it. The water that you would get from a pot after it rained, and then the sun came out, then it's nighttime, it cool down. That water, and you spill it on your hands. You go, ew. That water was nasty. It felt different. That's how our life is.
Hi, my name is Tempest S. Smith. I am one of the CEOs of this amazing ATS JR companies. We are the top personal development training company in the world. We make profitable clients more profitable. If you or your business needs help, if you and your life needs help, this is the only place you need to be. ATS JR companies, check us out online, theatsjr.com or atsbu.org.
Because we are unstoppable. Listen, man, your life will always never be the same once you become part of the ATS JR companies. Listen, ATS Week, it's going to bless your life. It's going to transform. It's going to change your life. But here's what you got to do. You got to drop that old mindset. Let go of that old poverty stinker. Let go of that old person. Let go of that loser. Release him. Let go of the procrastinator. Kill all that. Become the new you by transforming into who you are trying to become. Join us, ATS Week, atsjr.com. We are excited. We are ready to have you guys. If you guys don't know by now, I am the double certified People's Pastor, Reverend Brian A. Johnson, and I am the spiritual transformational coach right here at the ATS JR companies. We will change your life and we will change your bank account.
Let us add value to your life. Let us give you everything that you need to go to the next level in your life. ATS JR companies and the ATS Business University, that's what we're all about. We're all about growth. We're all about adding value to you, and we're all about helping you grow. Trust me, you don't want to miss ATS Week. This is the place to be. This is the place to grow. This is the place to learn.
My business partner, Antonio T. Smith Jr., is the best at everything that he does. You need help, you need to holler at my boy. Your business is broke, you need to holler at my boy. Your your mindset is in poverty, you need to holler at my boy. Why? Not because he's arrogant, not because he's whatever y'all talk about, because he backs up what he teaches. He lives this lifestyle. He's not out here just talking to collect coins. He's living and walking it every single day. So you need help, your business needs help, your life needs help, come holler at my boy.
Man, many people say what they're trying to do. Many people say what they want to do. Many people say what they have a desire to do. But few people actually go do it. If you want to learn how to do it, listen to Antonio T. Smith Jr. Follow ATS Week. Follow the ATS Business University. Go join the Plant Better group. Get on a Plant Better cause, because your life will never be the same planting the old bad sucky seeds that you've been planting since you were born. So you have to plant better in order to get better. And if you want to be better, you have to begin right here at the ATS Business University. In the words of Tempest, you want to be better? Go holler at my boy.
Get rid of the old model of living that you used to have and follow the new model of living. Let me explain to you why. Because your old model was based on what people told you to do. The new model is based on what your desire is. Stop letting your dreams collect dust. Stop letting your life be lifeless. Come see the ATS Business University. Come join us at the ATS JR companies. Come join us at the Plant Better University and create a better model for your life so you can start living instead of living a life of mediocrity. Come join us.
She said it best. Holla at my boy.
There is no company better than this company. Not because I'm one of the CEOs, not because I've been here since day one, but because we put in work every single day. Antonio is in this office 17, 18, 19, 20 hours a day. Not for him, but because he wants to help you change your life.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it. He deserves it. Listen, man, listen. I want to tell y'all something real quick, a real quick story. And that was this kid that grew up. This kid grew up in a poverty area. He grew up in the hood. And he was raised up in the hood. And he had hood mentality. And all his life, they used to tell a kid, you wouldn't amount to nothing. You wouldn't be nobody. You'll never accomplish anything you want to be. You'll never get to the level of success in which you are dreaming about. So get rid of your dreams and just continue to live in that hood life. Continue to live that poverty lifestyle. Well, baby, guess what? I'm a millionaire now. You know why? ATS Business University. Listen, join us today. Walk out of your poverty, walk into your prosperity, and you can make all the haters pissed off.
That's it.
Because you are filthy freaking rich.
Woo!
ATS, baby.
Yes.
Get you one.
This is not a part of my video, but I do want to tell everybody in the office that if you ever feeling really, really bad, if you put on Cardi B and just listen to it, don't listen to the content, but listen to her humor in her music, it will get you right. Nothing like that drip. What's that drip? No, it's. Have you heard it? Give me my phone.
I don't know if I heard
Came through dripping, drip. Came through dripping, drip. You ain't never heard that? Oh wait, hold up.
But I don't remember.
Let me show you, right quick before I start. Can you hear it in your ear? Mm-hmm. Be pissed off. Listen to this. Hey! You can't stay mad. Ice. He know. Okay, all right. I'm just saying. That is not a publicity stunt for Cardi B, but that album is amazing when you couple it with her personality. All right. Okay, hello everyone. I was on my way to the office today and I was completely inspired to come and talk to you. What happened is I really, really hurt a friend. And although there are no mistakes, there are times when our experiences hurt people. I have to own it. I did it. And although it was not intentional, it still hurt someone that I really, really care about. And I believe that we can all relate to situations like this where we hurt people. What I want you to get from this video is that you cannot die in your apology. I apologized to my friend. I poured out my heart. I told her from the depths of me how sorry I was for what I did. And at the end of that apology, I said, I accept whatever you decide. I love you and I'll always be here. And after that, I was done. If she wouldn't have responded, I was fine. I was no longer going to beat myself up behind what I did. I wasn't going to continue to day after day after day apologize for it. That is death. Because what you're doing is you're reliving the hurt that you caused someone. And a lot with my clients, with friends, I hear it all the time. I've apologized so much. How many more times and how many more ways can I apologize for what I did? You don't. When you sincerely do it, you let it go. And that it's easier said than done, but you do it with your children, you do it with your bosses, with your coworkers, your friends. If you're in Target and you step on someone's foot, you say, excuse me, sorry. You don't go find that person the next day and say, oh, I stepped on your foot yesterday, I'm sorry. You don't go check for their forgiveness. But with the people that we're closest to, sometimes it's an indirect way of self-sabotaging ourselves to live in the apology to someone else. You have to mean your apology. Let it come from a sincere place. But don't you ever let anyone drag you through an apology. Oh, you don't mean it. Oh, yeah, that you're sorry, but that's their but, not yours. Don't continue to lend yourself to that person's hurt. You see, they have this thing that I've called issue residue. My friend forgave me immediately. It wasn't drawn out. She texted me the next day. I will always love you. I'll always be there for you. It just really hurt. And I knew that because we were friends, I could let you know that you hurt me and we would still be okay. And that was true. We're great today. However, some people suffer with issue residue. And if they have issue residue, which is residual things left over from situations that had absolutely nothing to do with you most of the time, when you hurt them, you are now apologizing not only for what you did to them, but for what everybody did who's in that residue. You won't overcome that. You won't apologize your way out of that. And if you're not careful, you will get in that sticky mess with them. And when you're in sticky mess, you're not being prosperous. When you're in sticky mess, you're not being abundant. You're not pursuing your dreams. You're pursuing acceptance. There are people walking the earth right now that have spent years walking in sticky residue trying to get an apology accepted. Not your job. It's not your job. Once you issue an apology, you do not continue to relive it unless you want to recycle all of the pain, all of the hurt, all of the anger that was involved in that circumstance. I hurt my friend. I apologized, I meant it, and I left it alone. And that's what you have to do. After you apologize, it's up to them to accept it, not for you to prove. You don't have to prove an apology. Right now, to this day, I am not behaving any differently with my friend. The only thing that it demonstrated to me was how valuable I was to her and how much she valued our friendship. That's a bonus. When you look for the good in a situation, I'm not even remembering what I did. I just know how to handle the same situation when it comes back around in the future. Honest apologies and sincere acceptances create great relationships. transition this over to your business. You have clients. You're not going to be absolutely perfect. You will let a client down. Somebody will go and troll your company on the internet. Somebody will just have nothing positive to say about your business because of something that you do. You don't leave your mask to go after that one that won't accept your apology. You do have to go and apologize and try to make it right. Give them something free. Companies do it all the time. But how many of you know that have a company that there is absolutely nothing they can do to get your business again because of the way they handled you? Don't be that person. However, you do not continue to apologize. You do not continue to give away things for free. You do not continue to live over and over again the hurt that you caused the client. Moving forward, you make sure you don't do it again. You continue to get better. So, the purpose of this video was to deliver you from living in your apology. The purpose of the video, the reason why I sat down today, was to give you a little bit of deliverance from reliving an apology, from staying in the sticky residue of someone else's past hurts and past pain, from self-sabotaging yourself by believing I can't move forward until I make this right. You won't make it right because you didn't make it wrong. You had an experience and that experience hurt someone. That's not wrong, that's not right, that's life. You apologize and you keep moving forward. If they're really your friend, if they're really there for you, eventually they'll catch up. You can plant better, you can dominate. Bye.
Did you hear about ATS week?
I did.
It's gonna be on
Is it
stage.
for real?
It's gonna be on
like
stage.
24/7?
24/7.
No way.
Yes.
No.
You know, like Shark Week is a big deal.
Oh, okay. I
Sorry,
get it
big
now.
deal.
Took me blonde hair.
It's okay. It's okay. It's
so,
okay.
So who is who? Who's it gonna be from ATS?
Woo. Well, okay, ATS, Antonio T. Jr.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's gonna do 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Not just him, though.
Who?
Not just him. You got Tempest Smith. You got Deanna Mitchell. You got Brian Johnson.
Are you
Brian
gonna be
A.
on it?
Johnson.
Are you?
I think I am too.
Okay.
Aren't you?
So yes, I am.
Yes.
I am.
And then we got Shannon Clark. Yes.
Shannon Clark.
Shannon Clark.
Shannon
okay.
Clark.
Okay.
Yeah.
All these people
Did you
are
say
too.
Deanna?
I said Deanna.
Okay, you
We
said
say
Deanna.
again,
Deanna.
Yes.
Rainbows.
Rainbows.
She's gonna shoot
Caribbean.
rainbows through
Yes.
your screen,
Yes.
everybody.
That's it.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm excited.
Yes.
24 hours a day, 7 days.
24. That's it.
You know
July
what?
16th
I bet
to the
you
23rd.
we were.